Hi everyone, this is Veronica Recinos. I am the broker, as you know, for MONTON Real Estate, and also the writer for MONTON Real Estate News here in Los Angeles. I am here today with Rick Rodriguez. He is the owner of RMI International, a multi-million-dollar company who employs over 1,700, almost 2,000 employees in 3 countries, and he operates in 18 states. He's also the mayor of Downey. Mayor, it is a pleasure to be with you here today. Thank you for having us. We really appreciate it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what RMI International is, and please tell us what led you into becoming the Downey mayor.
So, first question, RMI International is a private security firm. We operate in, like I said, 18 states and 3 countries. I was the very first security guard of the company. I started it myself from our kitchen table here in Downey. My wife and I, we started it. We have 7 children. So I had a great job. I was in charge of security for the president of Honda Motor Company. And I was his personal security. I traveled around the world with him. And I needed to make more money. So the president advised me, he said, hey, you're great at your job. You should start a business and hire a leader like you. So we did it. And that was over 20 years ago. We did that, and now our family owned, because we're 100% family owned. We're the largest Latino security company in America that we know of, and I'm very proud of that, because we're also a legacy company. So our family, our 7 children, all 7 children work for the company. As they all work for the company, now our oldest son is a senior executive in charge of operations, our president, and our youngest daughter is our vice president of HR and admin and legal. And so those 2 children run the entire corporation now. So it gave me the time to retire in 2015, and about 6 former mayors kind of got me in the corner and say, what do you think about running for mayor, or running for the city council? I said, okay, let me think about it and pray about it for a while. And here we are, 3 years later.
Wow, that's so amazing. One of the things, that I think it's very amazing is how a Latino, and not only Latino, but how, a person can really develop into having a family of 7, a wife named Lupe, right? Her name is Lupe, an amazing woman, I suppose, and how you have been able to, build the company into such a successful company and a multi-million-dollar company. That is amazing. Overall, becoming the mayor of Downey, it's a big responsibility.
Yes.
And I think that one of the reasons that I'm here is because, I want to ask you a little bit about real estate. What has been going on in the city of Downey? As you know, the one of the biggest associations to realtors is here.
Yes.
It's the Greater Downey Association of Realtors.
Yes.
And we like to know from you,
Yes.
Since you've been in office, what has been the biggest real estate development transformation in the city of Downey?
Well, first I think, thank you for the kind words about my background and my family, and you're right, my wife is a phenomenal woman. In my professional career, I lived and traveled in 23 countries around the world doing my job, left her home alone to raise and to manage our children before I started our business. So that takes a lot of courage. So when I started my business, I said, hey, I think I can do this. I'm not a business guy at that time. And she goes, okay, let's try it. So to follow me, to help raise children when your husband's gone for 16 or 23 years, and then come back home and say, I have an idea, let's start a business, and that takes a lot of courage. And so she did that, and I'm very thankful that we've been friends and husband and wife, for more than 30 years, and it means a lot to have that partnership with your spouse, But and you're right, it comes responsibility as mayor. And I always say that you have to be the same guy at home, same guy at church, the same guy at work. You have to be the same guy, and I think that passion is contagious. When I started my business, I love the idea of caring for others. I love that servitude attitude. I love the idea of me going to a foreign country with an executive or government official that was not so secure in his own mind, and worried about his family, and worried about what do I do, and I would be able to provide that safety and security. They can do their job, and so I love that part of my job. So when I came back home, I did the same thing. I trained others to be the same way. When I'll be the mayor, I'm that same passionate person. I love being mayor. I love being mayor because we have a great city. Our city is the heart of the volunteer. We have, it's such a vibrant city. I mean, 3% unemployment rate. Our average medium home now is around $600,000 price tag of a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. That's not the entry level home that we would have in other cities. It's the medium price home. That says a lot about our value. It says a lot about our value, the price tag of real estate. And real estate is always, I'm glad you brought that up because that's always been my hobby. So, safety and security has been my business, but my hobby has been real estate. My wife and I, we love buying old fixer-uppers and refurbishing them, apartments, duplex, triplex, fixing them and keeping them. Because a lot of our employees are veterans. They come back to America that need that wraparound service, need that job, need that family to work for, need that house for their family, their children, need the opportunity to go to college, but need to have that home. They can leave their wife and kids or husband and kids at home when they're working and support their family. So real estate's always been a big part of that for us. So so for me, that's a key. I mean, Downey real estate is key. And so I'm so proud of you look at our city overall. I mean, you can drive all over our city and you see multi-million-dollar homes, and then you see the smaller home that's good for the perfect, first-time buyer.
Is there any projects in the city that you can say that are moving forward to helping, because real estate, as you know, it is a critical part of being a part of the big problem that we have right now, which is the growth of population.
Yes.
So how is Downey attributing to that?
So we've been going for a while. We're way ahead of the curve. We had, the 3rd Street downtown project there, which I believe there was 60 units of condos there that was developed there. Paramount Boulevard, another so many condos and townhomes there. And then on Telegraph, right at the tip of our north end of town, Latonia Booth has another project there, another 40, 50 units. So there's a lot of, average price homes. So they sell quickly. They're developed and they're sold sometimes before they're even completed, because people want to live in our city. So those are 3 major pieces that I know just off the top of my head, and more. It seems like every single month, another set of plans come before the Planning Commission for other development. And we're very careful. We're very careful how we allow our city to develop. We don't want to overdevelop and lose our bedroom community feel, but at the same time, we don't want to be left behind where the state governor says, hey, you must. As a matter of fact, we are one of the cities that we're fine. We're exactly where we need to be with the amount of housing for our city.
Great. What would you say to the investors that are looking to develop here in the city? Why should they develop here? And what is great about the city? Because one of the things is that the social media has Downey, and they have named it like the Beverly Hills. And why is that? Why is it? And why should the investor invest here? Why is that? Why do they call it the Mexican Beverly Hills? And I don't want to say the Mexican Beverly Hills, but in reality, it's what it's been called. Why is that?
So I'll show you. See that picture right there, the wall, Latino Beverly Hills.
Oh yes.
See the guy under there?
That's right.
That's me. So actually, that nickname came from me.
Oh
so
my
years
God.
before I was even elected. And so the LA Times asked me to do an interview with me because I have a thriving business. And I never moved out of Downey. I stayed here. And so he said, why did you, not only you, but so many other business owners that have started thriving companies stayed here? Why? And I said, well, it's kind of like Latino Beverly Hills. If you grew up in the surrounding areas, you know, if you came to Downey, it was a great place to live. We have our own fire, our own police, our own school district. And the housing, it does well. We have on the average of 10 police officers per shift patrolling our street every single day, around the clock. We're a very safe city. We have no gangs in our city. They can claim the city Downey is there turf. We have none of that. We have, you know, a high graduation rate in our high school, in public school. You know, 96, 97% of our kids graduate high school. Half of that, 50% of those kids go off to college. So now, you know, I've helped create a pathway to success by offering internships and military as an option for college money and job training. And so now that really sets us apart from any other city around us, because the best way to prevent homelessness and gang activity and drug addiction, the best way is to prevent it rather than try to stop it.
That's great. You know, I think that it is a big part, the schooling part, where you're telling me that, you know, most of the students do graduate from here. You have wonderful schools. I think it's a great thing that Downey does stay on top of that.
Yes.
And I do know that the schools are high quality schools, yes, and that even the students here have achieved high things, yes, in their life as well. Another thing is that shaping the city, like I said earlier, is fundamentally critical to what we have right now, which is the population growth. And I do see, and a lot of us see, that the city has been keeping up with the buildings that you say, the, yes, developments, and you've given opportunity to a lot of developers, yes, and business investors in real estate to come in and very smoothly build here. Yes. Why do you think that, you know, the city is changing so much on this part? Why do you think that they chose Downey instead of choosing another city? Why Downey? Well, why the Latino Beverly Hills?
I think, well, part of your answer is because, number one, we've only gone up. You've never seen a dip in our real estate value, number one. And number two is that we want to be known as a business-friendly city. We don't want to make it so encumbered and difficult for people to do business in our city. You know, since I've been elected in office in 2016, we had over 300 new companies, business, restaurants, stores, real estate offices, insurance companies have opened their storefront here in this city. And we want to be that business-friendly resource center.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. Also, one of the things is that Downey has also been described as the rose in between the thorns because of the 4 freeways that are around it. People have easy access to get into the city, and also one of the things is that, you know, I do see that the city has developed a lot of things and put a lot of money into the streets.
Yes.
With the points of entry into the city that beautify the city, yes, and beautify even higher the real estate that is here. For example, Downey Landing and the Promenade. It has been an amazing project, and I know that it's in the Promenade is in the process of being completed.
Yes. But
I have seen that top companies have came in and have leased out a lot of, yes, the real estate there. What plans do you have for that part of the promenade, and what is in the process right now?
So you know that Kaiser is expanding. You know, we have become a regional medical hub for Los Angeles County. Kaiser is here, PIH is here, Wesley Health Clinics are here, Ultimate's here. So we become that regional. So it's not only people that live here that go to Kaiser, go to PIH, go to these clinics. It's not just the Downey residents, but it's people from other cities come here. So now Kaiser is expanding north with another wing and parking. So you see that part of the promenade under construction, that's Kaiser. So on top of that, we have a major hotel coming in the back corner of that. And right now we have one big, beautiful hotel that's, and a lot of small ones, one big name brand hotel on Firestone. And so now we'll be adding a new name brand hotel to that side of the promenade as well. And at the same time, you know, we have our own Walmart. And you can say a lot of things about Walmart, but let me tell you, this Walmart generates, you know, close to $1 million in tax revenue for our city without even trying. And so that's huge for us, as well as they're a good corporate client and good corporate citizen. The promenade, it's not a cheap place to open a business there. The rents on the upper upper middle class, upper higher piece of rent for the lease space of the promenade. But that brings in successful clients and tenants. All the restaurants are there. They're every Friday, Saturday, they're always booked solid. I think one of the biggest mistakes that some of the restaurants have had over the years is they built too small. They should have built bigger because the traffic they get. But it's a thriving piece of our city. And now with just north of them is the Downey Landing. We have a brand new restaurant. Barcelona's coming there. Another big restaurant in there. They have all the big box stores. Best Buy. All the big box stores are there. So that drives traffic, and that traffic, they might not live here, but they come here and spend money here. And that's what we want. We want the business to come enjoy our city.
Yeah, and it's very inviting because I do see that you guys have done a lot, like I said, by putting lights and just beautifying the city. Even downtown Downey is just such a nice place. I know from my experience, I do come here, I do shop here in the small stores, and I also come and eat here at the restaurants.
Yeah.
But I love getting off, off the 5 freeway and just pulling into Gallatin and coming down, downtown, because I love seeing the lights at night. Another thing is that, I know that Porto's is a new bakery here. Well, not that new, but it has brought in a lot of business. And that part of the city has been beautified, which is Firestone.
Yes.
It looks amazing at night, amazing in the morning. It's always packed in there. It's really nice. Their food is really delicious. However, one of the things that I wanted to ask you is on the part of Florence, when you're coming from downtown or Beverly Hills, and for the drivers who come into town at exit on Florence on the 710, starting from Old River School all the way to the Northeast Downey, where we have the $1 million homes. What are your plans for this strip? Because I know on Firestone you worked a lot, you did islands, you put lights, but what is a plan for this part of the strip? What are you doing there?
I know there's an overall master plan. I'm not certain exactly that, but that's that corner. I live in that corner of the city myself. I live on the golf course there, and so it seems like when you're the mayor, that you're part of where you live is always the last piece to touch. But I would hope that we would do the same thing we did on Firestone, which I'm sure we will. Make it more inviting, but like a center meeting with the Downey logo. We did it at the Firestone in Norwalk. Now. On Florence, the new giant RV, that whole intersection there is being renovated. We're almost done with it. So that's also part of 5 freeway construction. So once that gets done, hopefully we'll start working our way. The Wilderness Park, the park right is getting a total new renovation with the lake and all the park furnishings is all new renovation. So it's working its way. It's working its way down Florence.
Oh wow, that's a big step.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep. We have 6 parks being totally renovated. So that's a major undertaking because parks need to be closed down little by little. There's programs that are a part of the park, as well as the library. Our library is getting a total new facelift, inside and out. We're keeping the 4 walls of the library, but everything else is being changed. And so we do the state-of-the-art technology for our children, as well as that hasn't been touched in 60 years. So now that library will be completely revamped this year, as well as our 4 fire stations. Our 4 fire stations haven't been touched again in 30 or 40 years. So now the latest technology for our firefighters. Right now they have kind of a dormitory style environment where they sleep at night. That'll be changed to almost actually their own private rooms. So in the event if we ever get female firefighters, they have their own room. So we're always preparing for the future, the what if. I think that's what really separates Downey from the rest of other cities everywhere, is we look towards the future. Our tagline is "Future's Unlimited." Well, if it's really unlimited, then how do we look in 20 years? And that's my job. My job is to sell the community and be the ambassador. Be the ambassador to say, look, residents, we're not just thinking about my time, but my grandkids' time, your grandkids' time. What would our city be like? We still want to be that thriving city.
Absolutely, that's really good thinking. Thank you for your words, and thank you for always considering looking to the future. Yes. Regarding the, you know, regarding the interview of real estate, I always like to ask a final question.
Okay.
You are an amazing man, and you have built wealth. You have built a great company. Now you're the mayor. You know, there's people that are young right now, young entrepreneurs, and also young women trying to make it. And either entrepreneurs, and they're struggling, or they're moving forward, grinding every day, day in, day out, and they probably feel like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, how can I really make it, you know? And they've intelligently put themselves goals ahead. However, what word of advice can you give a person like this, someone that's trying to make it and that is there grinding? What can you tell them?
So I'll answer your question with a story. So I can remember, let's see, my youngest son is 28 years old. So I can remember 29 years ago, and my wife and I owned a duplex in south part of Downey, and we had built an apartment in the center. And so we had the rent from the apartment and rent to the front house, and we had our 6 children and living in this little 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 900 square foot home. Every night was a slumber party. And one day the pipe broke behind the washing machine and flooded the house. And so I had no money for a plumber, and I had to fix the pipe myself. And so I called the fire department to help me pump the water out, pull the carpet out. I got my local Downey insurance company to come and help me to make an insurance claim. And I remember I have a picture of my wife sitting on a ladder, pregnant, 9 months pregnant, and I'm sitting there and she's trying to help me as much as she could. And I was painting the walls, I was fixing the house. I think about that moment, I think, what a great time in our life that was. I never thought then that fast forward 30 years, my life would be like it is today. My life today is, I have a really good life. I have a wonderful life. I was able to build my real estate empire based on my money I made for my company and that legacy for my children. And I not only able to provide for them, but I'm able to teach them how to buy property. Out of my 7 children, 5 own homes, some multiple homes, some multiple states. So I was able to teach them that. And all 7 children went to college, and I never paid 1 penny of college tuition myself, not 1 penny. They all paid their own way through military service, through grants, scholarships, loans, whatever they had to do, because that was their accountability, that was their responsibility. Just like it was my responsibility to raise my family. And I think that I would tell every young person, you know, that wants to have visions of a life as a millionaire, I would say, look 10 years from now and surround yourself with people 10 years older than you. Not the local people that are in their early 20s that want to live the young life, that don't have the ambition to look at their future, but only for the moment. See, I never lived for the moment. I lived for the future. I lived all my friends. It's tough now because most of my friends are dying or dead. But most of my friends back then, when I was in my 30s, most of my friends then were in their 40s and 50s. Now that I'm close to 60, most of my friends are dying or passed away. But they helped me through the years of become the man I am. They helped me mentor. They helped me look at the project and look at a problem not as it sits, but what it will be. And so that's what I would tell every young person, is that don't just think of your current situation as being like this forever. I had no problem working hard. I had no problem, and my wife had no problem me working hard. She never set expectations that we couldn't have a happy family if Dad wasn't there. When Dad was out working around the world, spending money to make money and sending money home to raise her family, she was never one to say, your dad's never here. She's always one to say, Dad's working hard for us. We had to work hard for him. So it was a very hard-working team effort. And my children, as they got older, they learned, the older ones learned how to manage the younger ones. They've always been a team. My 4 sons, my 3 daughters, they've always been a very well-oiled machine. To this day, they work so well together because they grew up like that. And so I met an astronaut, retired astronaut, yesterday, as I spoke at the Columbia Space Memorial for retirees from Rockwell. And this retired astronaut's 86 years old, African American. He has a 66-year-old son. And So you can see, doing the math, he's African American, he was a parent by the time he was 20 years old. Chance to become an astronaut very slim. And now he's 86, and he's got an 80-year-old wife, newlywed. His first wife passed away, her first husband passed away. And these two newlyweds travel the globe telling their story in their 80s. I told my wife that, I said, that's us. We're not slowing down. We're hey, at our age now, we're just starting. So,
that's the spirit,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, that's an amazing
Yeah.
story. Thank you so much, Rick. We really appreciate it. We know that you're a very busy man, and your schedule is full today.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for taking the time.
No, what an honor, what an honor.
And for having us here.
And
Thank
I want to
you.
tell you that I think that, I think it's so important that you are helping motivate young people. Latinos, wonderful, but all young business people, they need that motivation. They need to see what could be. And so thank you for taking this challenge on. Thank you for helping our city do that.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
right.
Thank you so much, Rick.
All
It
right.
was very nice being here
My
with
pleasure.
you.
God
Thank
bless
you.
you. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Please stay tuned. We will follow up with you this afternoon. Thank you for being with us.